Rain tapped softly against the glass walls of the penthouse, but inside, everything was silent. The heavy kind of silence money couldn't fix. 35-year-old billionaire Adrian Hale stood in the center of a marble living room that looked more like a museum than a home. His tailored suit was perfect. His posture was perfect. His life on paper was perfect. Except for the little girl sitting cross-legged on the floor. 7-year-old Lily. Her small fingers tapped rhythmically against a wooden block. Her lips moving in a quiet world. Only she understood. Her curls bounced slightly each time she tilted her head. Searching for something she could never hear, Adrian watched her with the same expression he'd worn for years, a mixture of love and helplessness. Doctors had called it congenital deafness. Specialists from 5 countries had given their opinions. Therapies, surgeries, experimental treatments. Adrian had funded them all. Nothing worked, and when the richest man in the room runs out of solutions, the silence feels loud. Lily suddenly looked up, sensing movement. She smiled when she saw her father watching. She waved both hands excitedly, her version of saying, "I'm here. Don't worry." Adrian knelt beside her. "I wish," he whispered, voice cracking. "I wish you could hear me say how proud I am." Touched his cheek, sensing emotion. Children always knew. A knock broke the moment. Adrian's assistant entered carefully. "Sir?" The charity transport arrived early. "They're unloading supplies downstairs." Adrian exhaled. He barely remembered approving the outreach program funding aid shipments to underprivileged neighborhoods. It was routine. A billionaire's conscience management. "Fine," he said. "I'll come down." Lily tugged his sleeve. Her eyes sparkled. "Curiosity. You want to come?" he asked softly. She nodded fiercely. Minutes later, they descended into a completely different world. Outside the tower, the city breathed. Noisy, messy, alive. Volunteers unloaded boxes while children gathered nearby, watching with hungry eyes. Among them stood a girl, thin, barefoot, wearing an oversized faded hoodie. Her name was Maya, 7 years old. Her gaze wasn't on the food. It was locked on Lily. Maya tilted her head, observing the billionaire's daughter carefully, the way Lily reacted to movement instead of sound, the delayed responses, the subtle tension in her jaw. Recognition flashed in Maya's eyes. She stepped closer. A volunteer tried to stop her. "Hey, sweetheart," but Adrian held up a hand. "It's fine." Maya crouched in front of Lily. No fear, no hesitation, just curiosity. Lily stared back. 2 children from opposite worlds meeting in silence. Maya waved slowly. Lily waved back. Then Maya leaned closer, studying Lily's ear with unsettling focus. Her expression changed. Concern. She reached out, gentle, precise, like someone who'd done this before. Adrian stiffened. "What are you doing?" Maya didn't answer. Her tiny fingers hovered near Lily's ear, then stopped. She frowned. Something wasn't right. Her lips parted, and for the first time, she spoke. "She can hear." Adrian blinked. "What?" Maya looked up at him, eyes steady. "She can hear," she repeated. "Something is stuck." The world seemed to freeze. Adrian's pulse thundered in his ears. Doctors, specialists, years of tests, and this barefoot child was claiming. "No," Adrian said automatically. "That's impossible." Maya didn't argue. She gently tapped Lily's ear again. Lily flinched. Not from fear, from discomfort. Adrian saw it, and something cold crawled down his spine. Maya met his eyes. "Please," she said quietly. "Let me help her." Adrian hesitated. Every logical part of his mind screamed no, but the desperate father heard something else. Hope. He swallowed. "Okay." Maya leaned in carefully. Her tiny fingers moved with strange confidence. Lily squirmed, confused, uncomfortable, but Maya whispered softly, calming her. Then, Maya paused. Her expression sharpened. "I see it." Adrian's breath stopped. Maya pinched gently, and slowly, carefully, she began to pull. Something dark emerged, sticky, thin, alive. Adrian's stomach dropped. The volunteers gasped. Maya kept pulling and pulling till Lily screamed. Not a silent cry, not a breathy protest. A full, sharp, piercing scream. Adrian staggered backward. The sound echoed through the street. Lily froze. Her eyes widened. Her head snapped around. Wildly, she covered her ears. Tears spilled. Instantly. Not from pain. From shock. Because for the first time in her life, she could hear, and the world was loud. Very loud. Lily clung to Adrian, trembling as sirens, voices, traffic, wind, everything crashed into her senses at once. Adrian dropped to his knees, holding her. Lily, it's okay. She sobbed into his shoulder, but between the tears, she whispered something, a broken, trembling sound. Da, da. Adrian froze, his heart stopped. She said it again, da da. He shattered, tears streamed down his face as he held her tighter than he ever had. The crowd disappeared, the city disappeared, everything disappeared except that word, and the small barefoot girl, standing quietly nearby, watching. No, Maya wiped her hands on her hoodie, like it was nothing, like miracles were just part of her day. Adrian looked up at her, speechless. How? He breathed. Maya shrugged. Happened to my brother once, she said simply. Doctors didn't believe us either. Lily peeked over Adrian's shoulder, her watery eyes found Maya, and she smiled, the first smile she'd ever given after hearing the world. Maya smiled back. Two girls, connected by a moment that would change everything, because Adrian Hale didn't yet know that this miracle was only the beginning, and Maya's presence in their lives would uncover secrets far bigger than a child's hearing, secrets buried in money, power, and a truth Adrian wasn't ready to face. Secrets buried in money, power, and a truth Adrian wasn't ready to face. The street noise slowly returned to Adrian's awareness, but it sounded distant, like the world was underwater. Lily still clung to him, trembling each time a car passed or someone shouted. Every sound was new. Every vibration felt enormous. It's okay. It's okay, Adrian whispered, though his voice shook worse than hers. Lily pulled back just enough to look at his face. Her small hands touched his lips as he spoke. She was watching sound happen, seeing the connection between movement and noise. Her eyes widened with wonder. Da, da. She tried again. Adrian let out a broken laugh that dissolved into tears. Years of helplessness collapsed inside him in one moment. Behind them, volunteers were murmuring, phones already raised. Someone whispered, "Did that kid just fix her hearing?" Adrian snapped back to reality. He stood quickly, lifting Lily into his arms. His gaze locked onto Maya. The little girl looked suddenly unsure, like she was realizing adults were staring. "Come here," Adrian said gently. Maya hesitated, then walked over, up close. Adrian noticed how thin her wrists were. Dirt lined her fingernails, but her eyes, sharp, steady, didn't match the rest of her fragile appearance. "Where are your parents?" he asked. Maya shrugged. "Working." "Where?" She pointed vaguely toward the crowded street. "Everywhere." It wasn't an answer. It was survival. Lily reached toward Maya, not randomly, intentionally. Her fingers curled around Maya's sleeve. She giggled. A raw, shaky giggle, but unmistakably full of sound. Maya blinked in surprise. Then she smiled, shy but proud. Adrian swallowed hard. "You're coming with us," he said. Maya stiffened. "Am I in trouble?" "No," he said quickly. You just changed my daughter's life." Maya looked at Lily. Lily grinned and made a strange little noise, half laugh, half gasp, experimenting with her voice like a toy she just discovered. Maya's shoulders relaxed. "Okay," she said. The penthouse felt different when they returned. Lily was overwhelmed. Every footstep echoed. The elevator hum fascinated her. She pressed her ear to the wall, eyes huge. Adrian called every specialist he knew. They said congenital deafness. He barked into the phone. "Now she can hear." "Explain that." Silence answered him. Finally, "That's medically unlikely. She's talking." Adrian snapped. "Get here, now." Doctors arrived within the hour. They tested Lily again and again. Each result made their expressions more confused. her hearing was normal, perfect, even. One older specialist removed his glasses, rubbing his temples. "This makes no sense," he murmured. "Unless she was never deaf." Adrian turned slowly. "Say that again." The doctor hesitated. "If there was an obstruction, something missed during scans." Adrian's jaw tightened. Years of procedures, millions spent, endless appointments, missed? He looked at Maya, who sat quietly on the couch, eating like she hadn't seen real food in days. Lily sat beside her, mimicking every bite like it was a game. The two girls laughed loud, messy, joyful. The sound filled the penthouse. Adrian felt something twist inside him. Relief, anger, gratitude, fear. Because if Lily was never truly deaf, then what else had been wrong? Later that night, the doctors left with promises of deeper investigation. The penthouse grew quiet again, but now, it was a warm quiet. Not a hollow one. Lily fell asleep curled against Maya on the couch, their hands still loosely linked. Adrian watched them from across the room. His assistant approached cautiously. "Sir, we ran background checks. There's no medical record matching Maya's story about her brother." Adrian frowned. "What do you mean?" "No hospital visits. No documented treatment. Nothing." Adrian looked back at Maya. She didn't look like a liar, but something didn't add up. As if sensing his gaze, Maya opened her eyes, wide awake, watching him. "You're scared," she said softly. Adrian blinked. "What? You're scared?" she repeated. "Not about her ears." She pointed toward Lily. "Something else." A chill slid down his spine. "How would you know that?" Maya shrugged slightly. "Just do." The room felt smaller. Adrian stepped close. "Maya, when you pulled that thing from Lily's ear, what did you see?" Maya's face went serious. "Something that didn't belong there," she said. "What kind of something?" She hesitated, then whispered. "Something that was put there." Adrian's pulse spiked. "Put there? By who?" Maya looked down. "I don't know," she said. "But it didn't grow. It wasn't natural." Adrian's thoughts raced. Someone sabotaged Lily? Impossible. But the idea lodged deep and refused to leave. Across the room, Lily stirred in her sleep. A tiny whimper escaped her lips. A real sound. Fragile and new. Maya immediately relaxed again, watching her like a protective shadow. Adrian noticed. "You care about her," he said. Maya nodded simply. "She was quiet," Maya said. "Like me." Adrian frowned. "You're not deaf." "No," Maya said. "But nobody listens." The words hit harder than he expected. For the first time, Adrian didn't see a barefoot street child. He saw a girl who noticed everything adults ignored. A girl who found what experts missed. A girl who might know more than she understood herself. And somewhere deep inside him, a terrible suspicion began to grow. If someone had placed that obstruction, then Lily wasn't just unlucky, she was targeted. And if that was true, then today wasn't the end of a miracle story. It was the beginning of something much darker. It was the beginning of something much darker. Adrian didn't sleep that night. He stood in his office, city lights stretching endlessly beyond the glass, replaying Maya's words over and over. Something that was put there. Each repetition tightened the knot in his chest. By morning, he had called in a private investigation team, the kind that handled problems billionaires didn't talk about publicly. "I want every medical record," Adrian said coldly. "Every doctor who ever touched my daughter's file. Every scan. Every assistant. Everyone." The lead investigator nodded. "We'll find the truth." Adrian didn't realize how much he'd regret those words. 2 days later, Lily was laughing, really laughing. Every sound fascinated her. The hum of appliances, the splash of water, even her own footsteps. She stomped around just to hear the echo, shrieking with joy each time. Maya followed her like a quiet guardian. They were inseparable now. Lily would babble nonsense words, testing her voice. Maya would clap proudly, like Lily had invented language itself. Adrian watched them from the doorway. For the first time in years, his home felt alive. But peace never lasts long when truth is hunting you. His phone rang. "The investigator. We found something," the man said. You should sit down. Adrian didn't talk. There was a procedure. 7 years ago, the day Lily was born, a post-delivery ear examination. Adrian frowned. Standard practice, yes, but the attending specialist wasn't licensed. Silence. What? Adrian said slowly. The credentials were forged. The real doctor was delayed. Someone stepped in, and no one questioned it. Adrian's hand tightened around the phone. And the obstruction? The investigator exhaled. We believe a foreign material was intentionally placed in Lily's ear canal. It was small enough to evade scans, but effective enough to simulate congenital deafness. The world tilted. Why? Adrian whispered. That, the investigator said, is where it gets complicated. Adrian's voice turned to ice. Try me. The fake specialist was connected to a shell company. That company traces back to your former business partner. Adrian's breath stopped. Victor K., a man who once called him brother, a man Adrian had pushed out during a billion-dollar acquisition, a man who swore, "You'll regret this." 7 years ago, the same year Lily was born, rage hit Adrian like a tidal wave. Not business, anger, not rivalry. This was something primal. Someone had stolen his daughter's voice before she ever had a chance to use it, and he never knew until a barefoot child saw what the world refused to see. That night, Adrian sat on the floor beside Lily's bed. She was asleep, breathing softly. Maya sat nearby, knees tucked to her chest. He heard her, Adrian said quietly. Maya nodded like she already knew. You said something didn't belong, Adrian continued. You were right. Maya looked at Lily. She's loud now, Maya whispered. Adrian smiled faintly. She deserves to be. Silence settled between them, peaceful this time. Then Maya asked, what happens to the bad man? Adrian thought carefully. The truth, he said. That's what happens. And he meant it. Victor Kane was arrested within weeks. Evidence piled higher than his money ever could. The case exploded across media. Corporate revenge turned child sabotage. The world was horrified. Adrian didn't celebrate justice. Didn't erase 7 silent years, but it closed a wound he didn't know how to name. Months passed. Lily's speech improved rapidly. Her laughter filled every room. She talked too much now, and Adrian cherished every word. Maya stayed at first as a guest, then as family. Adrian tried to formalize guardianship, but Maya surprised him. I don't want to leave my mom, she said. So Adrian did something simpler. He brought Maya's world closer. Her mother was offered stable work, housing, support without strings attached. No charity, just opportunity. Because Maya hadn't asked for anything when she saved Lily, and that mattered. One evening, the girls sat on the penthouse balcony, watching the sunset. Lily chattered endlessly about the colors. Maya listened, really listened. Then Lily turned suddenly. Best friend, Lily declared proudly, pointing at Maya. Maya blinked. A slow smile spread across her face. Best friend, she echoed. Adrian stood behind them, hands in his pockets, heart fuller than he thought possible. Money built towers, power built empires, but it was a 7-year-old girl with nothing who gave his daughter the world, and another 7-year-old who taught him what truly seeing someone meant. As the city buzzed below, Lily laughed, loud, fearless, alive. And this time, Adrian didn't hear the silence of what was lost. He heard the miracle of what was found, and he knew. Some heroes don't arrive in suits. Some miracles don't come from machines. Sometimes, they walk in barefoot, see what no one else sees, and change everything.